This week on Dear Veronica, puppy training tips, how coders check code, and a final, very alarming question from the audience. Welcome back to Dear Veronica, everyone. I'm your host, Veronica Belmont. So, it's been a while now, but I finally have another great dog question to get to this week. I know it's not super techy, but whatever, it'll be fun. This one comes to us from Lee. My fiance and I have a 19-month-old Shiba Inu who is very mouthy and likes to chew on things. Thus far, he's been pretty good about not chewing on wires and cables that power everything in the house. However, since we are leaving him alone a little more because we just moved and have a longer commute, we can't supervise him as much as we used to. Is there a good solution for protecting wires against mouthy pups? Such chewing, very puppy. Wow. Lee, that's awesome that so far he's been pretty good about not chewing wires and such around the house. Definitely not a good habit to start. Your first and best defense is a good offense. Make sure you've completely puppy-proofed any room where he's going to hang out unattended. That means removing items that are valuable off the floor or off any surface that he can get to, bundling those loose cables in plastic spiral wrap or even PVC piping if he's a super strong chewer, or just, elevating them all off the floor, and making sure that he has ample, high-value chewing items that he'll prefer to play with. A personal favorite of mine are plastic Kong toys, which you can fill with a little kibble and peanut butter, and trust me, it will keep them busy for a very long time. Dog training is all about rewarding good choices, which you can only do if you're there in the room with them. If he makes a choice to use a toy instead of chewing something you don't want him to, reward him with a treat. If he goes for something bad, like cables, give him a little squirt with water to get his attention, and then redirect him to the proper chewing toy. But when you're gone, leave him in a place like a bathroom where he can't make those bad decisions. That's totally locked off. It's going to be puppy-proofed and perfect for him to spend some time in. Pet cameras that you can talk to them through are fun, but if you can't physically enforce the behavior you're looking for, it's pretty worthless. Hope this helps. See everyone? I added tech in there at the end. Happy? Okay, let's get back on track with this question about coding from Philip A. Shane. Dear Veronica, I know some apps, like an OS for example, have millions of lines of code. How did the coders write, let alone check, so many? I have no idea. Let's ask Conrad Mwan, Senior Engineer of Unbreaking Things here at Engadget.
Hey Veronica. So first of all, an OS isn't an app, but like an application, it has zillions of lines of code. And writing that much code isn't actually the hard part. It's really quite easy to write a very verbose program. But I did read a quote that said, always assume that the guy that ends up maintaining your code is a psychopath who knows where you live. So how do you write good code and make sure that it works well so that you don't end up being stalked by a psychopath? Well, in the industry, we have something called a unit test. What that means is we take your application and you break it down to its units of code. And once you have those units, you write tests using a testing framework to make sure that that code is behaving properly. And of course, unit tests aren't the only types of tests in the industry, but I think that's a good start. There's something called code coverage, and that really just means that every bit of code that you write is covered by a test. So there, I hope that helps.
Thanks, Conrad, and thank you for unbreaking the things that sometimes I break. Are you a snoozer? I've been trying to break the habit of hitting my alarm snooze button. Fuck! Because of that, I'm intimately aware of the subject of our next question from Twitter user Brave Jayhawk. Why does this snooze for most alarms last 9 minutes? Why not 10 or 5? This has always driven me nuts. Why 9? Well, I did some internet sleuthing, and the answer seems to lie in the physical gears of alarms past. Back in the old days of clocks that were wound with gears, the snooze gear had to mesh with the rest of the clock's gears in a certain way, and that meant engineers had to make a choice. Either go around the 9-minute snooze or the just after 10-minute snooze. They went with 9, and then everyone just got used to it. Now, some digital clocks can actually be reprogrammed, so if you hate it, change it. But not you, my love. You're perfect, just the way you are. Oh, that's it for this episode. Keep those questions rolling in with the hashtag Dear Veronica on Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Welcome back to Dear Veronica. To get through. Don't call me. Don't you f***ing call me. But not you, my love. You're perfect just the way you are. Time. From the top? No! This episode of Dear Veronica was brought to you by Go90.